What if I told you that the biggest changes in your life, the body you want, the mindset you dream of, the career you admire in others, are not the result of huge decisions, but tiny choices you make every single day? What if your entire future is being shaped right now by small habits so simple you don't even notice them? Because here's the truth. You don't need to change your life overnight. You just need to improve by 1% and let time do the rest. This is the power of atomic habits. And by the end of this video, you won't just understand habits, you'll understand yourself. Every action you take is a vote for the kind of person you want to become. If you write for a few minutes a day, you are voting for the identity of a writer. If you read just one page every night, you are voting for the identity of a reader. If you go for a 10-minute walk, you are voting for the identity of someone who values their health. People think habits are about discipline, but they're really about identity. You become what you repeatedly do. And the reason most people fail is because they try to change their goals, not their identity. They focus on losing weight instead of becoming a healthy person. They focus on earning money instead of becoming someone who creates value. When you shift identity first, everything else follows.
James Clear explains that every habit follows a four-step loop: cue, craving, response, and reward. Think about checking your phone. The cue is the notification. The craving is the curiosity. The response is picking it up. The reward is feeling connected. This loop runs silently beneath your awareness, shaping your automatic behaviors every single day. If you control the loop, you control the habit. If you let the loop control you, the habit controls you. Most people don't even realize they're stuck in loops they never chose. This is why Clear introduces the 4 laws of behavior change. The first law is to make it obvious. If you want to build better habits, the environment must work for you, not against you. Keep your running shoes next to the door. Keep a water bottle on your desk. Keep a book on your pillow. People fail not because they lack discipline, but because their surroundings nudge them toward the wrong behaviors. And if you want to break bad habits, flip the rule. Make it invisible. Out of sight, out of mind. Hide the junk food. Delete the distracting apps. Make the bad habit harder to start. The second law is to make it attractive. Humans naturally move toward pleasure and away from pain, so attach pleasure to your good habits. Listen to your favorite music only while cleaning. Drink your favorite coffee only while working. This is called temptation bundling, and it's one of the easiest hacks to build consistency. To break a bad habit, make it unattractive. Reframe the habit so your brain sees it differently. Instead of seeing junk food as comfort, see it as something that steals your energy and confidence. When the story you tell yourself changes, your habits follow. The third law is to make it easy. You don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your systems. If a habit is hard, you won't stick to it. Reduce the friction. Want to work out? Choose a gym close to home. Want to study more? Keep your study materials ready the night before. Want to read more? Remove distractions. Small changes in your environment create massive changes in your behavior. And for breaking bad habits, increase friction. Add obstacles. Make the bad habit annoying. Sign out of social media. Delete apps. Use timers. The harder it is to start, the easier it is to avoid.
The fourth law is to make it satisfying. Your brain repeats what feels rewarding. This is why habit tracking works so well. Each time you check off a box, your brain gets a hit of dopamine, a small victory that encourages you to continue. Success is not one big win. It is hundreds of small wins stacked on top of each other. And if you want to break a bad habit, make it unsatisfying. Use accountability partners, financial penalties, or public commitments. When there's a real cost to the behavior, your brain learns to avoid it. One of the most powerful ideas in atomic habits is the 1% rule. Improve by just 1% every day. That sounds tiny, almost meaningless, but small improvements compound the same way money compounds in a bank account. After a year, you're 37 times better. On the other hand, small declines compound too. If you become 1% worse each day, your abilities collapse over time. This is why people who make small, consistent improvements eventually look unstoppable. They aren't more talented, they're more consistent.
Most people quit early because they fall into the valley of disappointment. This is the period where you're putting in effort but seeing no results. You meditate for 2 weeks but still feel stressed. You go to the gym for 10 days and barely see a difference. You save money for a month and still feel broke. What most people don't realize is that results take time to reveal themselves. Clear calls this the plateau of latent potential, the idea that your efforts are accumulating behind the scenes until suddenly the results explode. Just like heating an ice cube, from 25 degrees to 31, nothing happens, but at 32 degrees, boom, it begins to melt. Your habits work exactly the same way. Invisible progress until the breakthrough. The book also explains the power of environment design. Your environment shapes your behavior far more than motivation ever can. If your kitchen is full of healthy food, you naturally eat better. If your desk is clean, you focus better. If your phone is filled with educational apps instead of social media, you learn more. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They automate it by designing their surroundings. Your environment should make your good habits easier and your bad habits harder. Habit stacking is another practical tool. Attach a new habit to an existing habit. After brushing your teeth, stretch for 1 minute. After making your bed, read 5 pages. After brewing your coffee, write 1 paragraph. When you attach a new habit to something your brain already recognizes, the transition becomes effortless. You're not trying to force a habit, you're smoothly inserting it into your routine. James Clear also reveals the difference between motion and action. Motion feels like progress, planning your workout, organizing your desk, researching diets. But real progress only happens through action, actually doing the work. Most people stay stuck in motion because it feels safe. Action feels risky. You might fail, you might look stupid, you might make mistakes. But results come only from action. If you want to change your life, you must step out of planning mode and step into doing mode. Even imperfect action taken consistently beats perfect plans that never leave your head. One good habit often triggers another. If you start walking daily, you naturally start eating better. When you eat better, you sleep better. When you sleep better, you focus better. This ripple effect means that improving one habit can transform your entire life. The opposite is also true. One bad habit, sleeping late, skipping exercise, mindless scrolling, can trigger a chain of negative outcomes. Perhaps the most life-changing lesson from the book is the idea of identity transformation. You don't change habits to achieve results. You change habits to become someone new. Behavior that is inconsistent with your identity won't last. If you see yourself as a smoker, even if you stop smoking temporarily, you'll return to it. If you see yourself as someone who is bad with money, you'll always sabotage your finances. Instead, shift the identity. Every habit is a vote for the type of person you want to become. Want to quit smoking? Start by saying, "I'm not a smoker." Want to become healthier? Tell yourself, "I'm the kind of person who takes care of my body." Identity change is slow, but it is incredibly powerful, because once you become the type of person who values excellence, your habits naturally align with that identity. Tracking habits is another powerful tool. When you track a habit, you make it visible. You get a sense of progress, and progress creates motivation. But even with tracking, you will miss days. It's normal. The key is simple. Never miss twice. Missing one day is a mistake. Missing 2 days is the beginning of a new, unwanted habit. Winners recover quickly. That's what separates them from everyone else. Clear also explains that habits should serve your life, not restrict it. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom. When your habits become automatic, your brain has more space to think, create, and focus. Your life becomes smoother because your good habits run in the background. You wake up early without effort. You eat well without thinking. You study without resistance. You focus without struggle. Imagine how much better your life becomes when the actions that lead to success happen effortlessly. In the final chapters, we learn that habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. The results are slow at first, but unstoppable later. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need insane willpower. You just need small improvements repeated over time. If you commit to making small changes, truly small ones, your entire identity, your habits, your results, and your life will begin to transform. And if you're listening to this thinking, I've failed my habits before, understand this. Your past does not define your future. Every day is a chance to cast a new vote. Every small action is a chance to become a new person. And you don't need to change everything today. You just need to start. If you enjoyed this summary, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with someone who wants to improve their life. And tell me in the comments, what's the one new habit you are starting from today?